Hi, this is Ken with the Business Navigator, and I wanted to talk today about making children's furniture for sale. This is a niche market idea. It's kind of an out there idea, but you know what? It's something that I have some experience with, and we have built these tables in the past and just want to pass on some free information. If you're looking for something to get into that sells on eBay, this is a dynamite little demographic. So, getting started. The first thing you're thinking is, I don't think I can do that. That's pretty hard. Let me tell you, it's not really that hard. And there's two different ways that you can go about it. And I'm going to talk about what you need to do and how you can either do it yourself. If you do that, you're going to need a basic knowledge of tools or a knowledge of what to outsource, which sometimes is easier. So, if you're going to build these tables, or you're interested in building these tables, you need to start with a design, obviously, your own design. You need to plan to build it in batches, because you don't want to do one at a time, and we'll get to that in a little bit. You need to realize what takes time up front. There are certain things like the painting that takes time, and if you can address these things before you start, you'll have a better system. And of course, you need to have a system and build up an inventory, and we're going to talk about those things. If you outsource, this is going to save you some time, and it skips a lot of the steps of your system, but you also have to add some money to the time that you would spend. Like if you're going to build the table and the chairs, and let's say it takes you 5 hours, you're going to need to attach a price to that 5-hour time and then decide if buying the table is better for you in the terms of money. Does that make sense? Okay, I want to talk a few minutes about hiring artists. We hired some artists, and I'll show you some pictures here in a second, to do some of the artwork. And artists are artists, and sometimes they take a little longer. It's kind of an artsy thing. I'm just going to leave it at that. I have found that if you give them free reign and offer to give them, like name the series after them, they do really great work. And if you just say, hey, run with it, most of them do an awesome job, and you end up with something that you would have never thought of yourself. So let the artists do their thing, is what I'm saying. Here's a real pretty design. This was done by an artist. We named a series after her. Very popular. As you can see, this is a custom design. We did the woodwork in-house. Fancy legs and custom table edges, as you can see, lots of detail. The chairs, the custom design. Here's another artist's rendition. Beautiful stuff. We also had our own little niche that we used. This was kind of like our calling card. We put little designs on the tops of the chairs. Very popular. And we had different kinds of tables, a lot of different designs that we use. Custom hand-painted stuff. Believe it or not, my wife did this. She's not an artist. Not really that hard. She enjoyed doing it. It was something that was fun for her. Anyway, back to the design. You need to make it simple. You need to make it so it's deliverable. And this is the key thing. You want to be able to deliver your products via UPS or FedEx or DHL. And you need to have it so that the hardware is easy to assemble and the customer is easy to, they're able to put the tables together. You can borrow a design. Just go to the store, take a bunch of pictures, and bring it home and make it your own. Now, back to batches. Because this is time consuming and we're talking about building here, you need to kind of think like a small manufacturer facility. I know it sounds weird, but you want to build all the tops, then build all the legs, then build all the skirts, and then all the chairs. Also, the chairs are time consuming, so if you can buy those, there's a lot of these places that you can buy the chairs raw or wood only, and they have all kinds of different names, little stores that you can buy stuff and then go in and embellish. But these are the steps. You have to build, then you have to prep the material, prime the material, paint it, do the artwork, seal it, and then package it. There's a lot to this. It's a little bit labor intensive, but there are some shortcuts. Here's the time stealers. Sanding, huge. Painting, even bigger. Everything has to be primed and then you have to put 2 coats of paint on if you're good, and then you do the artwork, and then you do the sealer, and it takes a lot of time. And then you can't just let the sealer, you can't put it on and ship it out. It has to cure a little bit and get hard, otherwise it's going to stick to the packaging. Making some jigs to make your products, like if you're going to do the skirts, you do them all the same way and drill them all in the same holes. And then, of course, you may need to buy some equipment to be able to do this, like a drill press is a great handy tool to have for this. I'm big into systems, so if you dress the time stealers like we were talking about earlier, you're well on the way to building a system. I've also found out that you need to have one area that you do all the building, and that has to be a different area from the painting, because obviously you don't want to get sawdust mixed in with this product that's drying or just been painted, and then that's just bad. You want to do a great job. You can't do one at a time. We talked about that. And selling them, you know what? Selling them is probably the easiest part, because people go crazy over handmade stuff. Another thing you want to talk about is building up an inventory. And I don't like getting into what's called hurry up mode, which means you're trying to build these things as fast as possible, or maybe you put one online, and while it's selling you're still building it. That just causes a lot of stress. So if you build up an inventory before you start marketing them, you'll sell more and you'll be more relaxed, and you get some help doing this. There's tons of people that you can hire, kids and stuff, to do some of the menial stuff. I am a big believer in doing a test market. Try eBay. eBay spends unknown billions of dollars on their marketing. You can tap into that by running an auction, and immediately people are going to find your auction. If you build a website or you put a blog, you're going to have to struggle with the start out phase of getting traffic. If you use eBay, that's going to get you immediate traffic, and if you're smart and you know how to manipulate eBay, you can drive traffic to your blog or your website from there. A couple of notes. If you can design your chairs or find a chair that ships flat, you're going to take out a huge headache out of this operation. You don't want to ship a chair or a table. Well, you can't really ship a table fully built, but you need to be able to pack it in such a way so that FedEx or DHL or UPS doesn't destroy it. They're gonna do it. You're gonna have a table that gets broken no matter how hard you try, but you have to try the hardest that you can so that when it leaves here you have some peace of mind. Sometimes the best way to do that is with a custom box solution that protects all the parts. Then you want to think smart when you put this all together. And don't be afraid to go out there and go to boutiques and little thrift stores, and there's all kinds of consignment shops and stuff that will let you put your stuff in there. It's just a great way to drum up advertising. Here's the thing: know your target market. Women, this is a woman thing. Women between the ages of 25 and 70 is the target market that you're looking for, because they either are the mothers themselves or the grandmothers. This is a huge market. It's the most powerful demographic online, because it's renewable. And the homemade or custom made genre, that has such a huge appeal amongst people. You can't find stuff homemade or custom made anymore. Everything is churned out in large quantities, and everything looks like something else. People love a custom or a homemade look. When you start to sell more of these things, try to figure out how to streamline your system. You can go overseas and buy blank tops, or you can have tops made to your specifications, or you can have chairs made. And there's great companies that already are doing this, and that you can bring in or bring over, and you can start in low volume. You can start by just bringing a pallet of things, items completely finished over, and try it out. Volume is the key, and once you start selling them, you build up a great reputation. Hey, I hope this has helped you. Here's in closing, a nice table that we've done that has maple fluted legs, very custom. A great little design, a good seller. You can't find it anywhere. If you're thinking about doing this, best of luck to you. It is very exciting, and I'm sure that you'll have lots of fun.